Wasting food, begging for 7 lifetimes. To ensure privacy, the story still retains the original plot, but the character names have been changed. Hope you understand. And now, let's follow this story together. Continuing with the journey, the mission of saving souls. Our main character today is a female spirit named Lisa. When alive, she had a sister named Linda. When still alive, this Lisa was a beautiful young lady, born into a wealthy family, having a sister named Linda. The two sisters were pampered by their parents, so they were extremely wasteful, especially, that is, wasting food. Whenever eating, it was always a feast with high trays and full plates, and if they didn't finish eating, they didn't give it to the servants, everyone, but poured it all into the trash can. Not only food, but clothes and shoes were the same. Linda and Lisa, after buying and getting bored of them, would also throw them away. This spirit named Lisa passed away 45 years ago. At that time, when everyone was having a very hard time, these two sisters lived in an extremely affluent family. Money for spending didn't need thinking about, and they even got to take airplanes abroad. The act of wasting food happened frequently. Every day they wasted food. If they didn't dump this, they dumped that, and never gave it to the help. Lisa, although she was also wasteful, however, she did ask her sister Linda, or maybe we should let the servants eat it so it's less wasteful. However, every time she proposed like that, Linda would say, "Don't worry too far ahead, just worry about yourself right now, just throw the food away, dear." Sometime later, this Linda, suddenly she got a strange disease, which was having her legs atrophy completely, and this lady could not walk at all. Because of the atrophied legs, it affected her psychology too much. This lady didn't eat or drink. 1 year later, Linda passed away. When Linda passed away, Lisa missed her too much and was introduced by relatives to a master. This spiritual master named Master John, the spirit recounted, was a person with high spiritual powers, able to call the souls of the dead. Therefore, Lisa hired that master to come and call her sister Linda's soul up. After performing the ceremony, doing enough procedures, finally, he also called the soul of that Linda up. Calling Linda's soul up, this lady cried miserably, saying that she was suffering punishment down in hell, that is, having to eat all the filthy food that she wasted when alive. How much was wasted was all recorded in books. There are deities who record it all in books, so when dead, this lady just had to execute it, continuously begging the master, "Help me, save me, save me." Linda also shared further, "Now there is only a short amount of time to come up to share with relatives. After this time is over, she has to go down to hell to continue the punishment of eating those filthy things." The spirit Linda also shared that she didn't know when this punishment would be finished. It was too painful. Every day having to eat those filthy things is extremely terrible. After finishing sharing a bit of information, this lady also had to return to the underworld. When hearing Linda speak like that, Lisa cried excessively, both afraid of her own sin and feeling sorry for her sister. Therefore, this lady followed the instructions of that Master John, which was selling a lot of assets to bring to the temple for merit, as well as doing many good deeds, many useful deeds. After that, she dedicated the merit to herself and dedicated it to her sister Linda. After that time of fortune-telling, 3 years later, Lisa also passed away. When Lisa passed away and went down to the underworld, this lady was also judged for her sins. And this lady's sin was also the sin of wasting food. However, when wasting food, Linda was the person directly throwing it into the trash can, while Lisa was the person eating together and shared the collective karma. Therefore, Lisa's sin was lighter than Linda's sin, plus the fact that when Lisa was still alive, she sold many assets to do many good deeds, do many useful deeds, so her sin was also much lighter. At this time, the demon attendants led Lisa to a place full of big jars. The smell was extremely terrible and foul. When Lisa went inside, she saw so many people who just sat with their heads buried in those jars to eat filthy things, and those filthy things were boiling, bubbling up, not like normal. This foul smell was both disgusting and creepy, and it was also boiling, bubbling up, burning the throat and neck. Looking far away, she saw a familiar person. That was her sister Linda, so Lisa ran out to hug her. However, before they could hug, before they could confide, Lisa was immediately shoved headfirst into a jar by the demon attendants and had to eat all of that jar. The two sisters together ate the filthy things that back in the day when alive they had left over and wasted. However, the older sister had suffered the punishment first, so she finished her punishment and was allowed to be reincarnated first. As for Lisa, she just started suffering the punishment, so she still had to eat from the jar and was not allowed to go yet. When Linda finished suffering the punishment and was allowed to reincarnate, she asked permission from the Lord of the Underworld to let her wait for her younger sister, that Lisa, and then reincarnate together. However, that request was not agreed to. Until Lisa finished suffering her punishment, qualified to reincarnate, she asked permission from the Lord of the Underworld to know where her sister was. He answered, "Your sister is now a beggar child and following a beggar woman. These two people hug each other all along the road to beg for food from others. And your sister has to suffer being a beggar for 7 lifetimes. After finishing 7 lifetimes, she will return to be a normal human." Because she loved her sister so much, this spirit was qualified to reincarnate but did not reincarnate. This past lunar July, this spirit followed the crowd to go up to the mortal world, Because of some karmic connection, this spirit met her sister again in the form of that beggar child, and recognized her sister. Before coming up to the mortal world, this spirit heard that upon coming to the mortal world, later she would meet a person with destiny to save her. After that, there was an immortal elder pointing the way, and Ms. Rose's group came to enlighten and brought the spirit to the temple. Do you see? Everyone, if you believe, then reflect. If you don't believe, watch for entertainment. And let's try never to waste food, okay? The karmic retribution of wasting food is incredibly terrible. One lifetime of wealth where we waste food, we have to suffer many lifetimes of being beggars, starving, suffering, and ragged. Therefore, everyone try your best, save, and never waste. Finally, I, Danny, wish everyone to always be diligent in cultivation.